What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Random Ramblings. I'm Jerome.
And I'm Nick.
And I'm Fat Nincompoop.
Wow. And Westworld is finally back. So we're here to talk about Westworld Season 2, Episode 1, Journey into Night. And before we get going, like, theory-wise into this episode, we're going to have Siri tell you guys what happened this week. Any second now.
2 weeks after Dolores massacre, Bernard Lowe is rescued by a Delos security team led by Carl Strand. Strand has
Just to
been
warn you,
sent
this
to
might take a
reassert
while.
control over Westworld and enlists Bernard's help. Bernard recalls escaping to a secret bunker with Charlotte Hale, who contacts Delos for help. Delos refuse until they receive the proprietary information that Charlotte had tried to smuggle out. Bernard and Charlotte use the Westworld network
should I
to
just stop
locate
it?
Yeah,
Peter
Jesus Christ.
the decommissioned.
All right, guys.
That
Welcome.
was stupid.
Welcome back to our Westworld podcast. So before we get theorizing, what did you guys think of this week's app?
I thought it sucked.
Oh, wow.
No, it was good.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, obviously, I've seen it fucking 3 times now.
Well, yeah, I saw it 1.5 times. Because you yapped the whole time I watched it.
Yeah, we did talk. We theorized. Me and him, like, I think that's how you know this is already off to, like, a good start. We've basically nonstop talked about this all day.
Yeah.
I haven't had anyone to talk to about it with.
It's like...
He's like over there jerking off. Damn it!
Dude, I was like itching to get out of work today so I could come home and watch it again. All
No,
day.
I get that. No, I loved it.
That's a good sign.
I thought it was...
Yeah.
It wasn't really at all what I expected, but I'm so glad that it's back.
I like what they did
Jumped right back into it.
Yeah, and like and made it different. Some people flipped or whatever, and like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was say I took down some notes, which I mean, hey Hess, you want to show people your notes real quick?
Sorry, don't say that when I'm
We
drinking.
we all took a little bit of notes, and then
Well,
Hess is like,
show
"Yeah,
what?
motherfuckers, I took notes too." Fucking
Like,
this
seriously.
was a school project.
S is like
Just two
I
two pages.
I typed up the Constitution.
Can you tell he was itching to talk to someone about this?
Yeah, pretty exciting.
So I don't know. Hess probably put this in his notes. I don't know.
Fuck, I hope so. I don't know what you're gonna say.
I wrote down every flash of memory that Bernard had in the beginning of the episode. And
Okay.
and I wanted to talk about it a little bit. So he's talking. It's Arnold. You know, he's talking. We're just gonna go through the episode a little bit. Arnold's talking to Dolores. At least we think it's Arnold.
Do you think it's
We're not-
Arnold?
Do you think that was Arnold, or do you think that was Bernard talking
open
to
up.
Dolores?
It's hard to tell.
It is very
Okay,
hard
you
to
gotta
tell.
say more than it's hard to
Well,
tell.
it's hard to tell. There's a whole room. There's a whole room full of Bernard Arnolds.
Yeah.
Bernard Arnolds.
Bernard-
Is it Bernard?
It's Bernards.
I called him Bernards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've
There's a whole room. So I mean, you don't really know, and they don't really give you a time setting either.
Yeah.
You know what I
What
mean?
I didn't. The second time we watched
Like
it,
you don't
I-
know if it's in the future, in the present, or in the past. You have no idea.
I got a dumb question for both of you.
Yeah.
When do you see the Arnolds? In the
Did you not send him the picture?
No, I showed you the picture.
No, I saw the picture. I'm asking when that took place.
I think that's next week's episode, but I'm not positive.
So
I know
like, you
it's
didn't
sure-
see it in the episode.
Yeah, no, we didn't see
Okay,
this episode.
that's good because that has nothing to do with if that's Bernard or Arnold. That's what I was getting at.
But we,
I got you.
I get you. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I originally, here's my first thought when I saw this: Dolores talking to Bernard.
Correct.
But is it?
See, the thing to me is, I think it's either way in the future.
We don't know anything.
I think it's in the future.
Oh, I know it all.
Bernard talking to or Dolores talking to Arnold. And
I don't think
all
it's
that
in the
shit.
future.
Or it's in the past. It's
I think it's in the
Arnold and
past.
Dolores because they filmed it like cinematically, like with the black bars and shit. I think that's on purpose to let you know that's not in this timeline. So I think it's either after this season or way before.
That's bullshit. Because I don't ever see black bars.
I know. We're fucking watching an IMAX movie. And this guy, I was like, "Did you notice it when IMAX?" Because I always ask him because he never fucking does.
Yeah, I don't see that.
And he's
shit.
like, "No."
no. So why do I have to pay more money
But-
to fucking see something I don't notice?
But my point is,
Right.
they did that specifically for people that who have eyes and can see that. But
Fuck them.
I think they did that on purpose to let us know that it's not the same timeline.
All right, I think it's in the past, and I think it's in the past because Bernard tells Dolores, "I am scared of what you could become."
Yeah, see, that's what I told him.
and
That's
now
how I
we're
thought that
seeing
too.
her become what he is afraid of.
Yeah, because that conversation would be weird if it's after she's evil and shit, like shooting down Indians in the park.
Right, because I mean, like, what else could she morph into if she's like this cold-blooded now?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But it'll be interesting. We'll see. It really is hard to tell for the one scene we saw with it.
Yeah,
but I do that was a great scene too.
I mean,
by the way.
the whole point of this season is going to be speculation.
Yeah.
They're feeding into it so much.
I think they loved how crazy we went last season, so I think they're doubling down on the weird shit this season.
Yeah, like
and being very vague.
Yeah, if they can fucking make something be weird and maybe you don't know, it could go either way, they're going for it.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's how it was last season too.
Yeah,
and I think it's going to be worse.
That's almost. Yeah. I almost enjoy that. I think I kind of
better, depending how you look at it.
Yeah, I kind of figured that out today. Is I almost like speculating about this show more than I like than the story. Like if you think about the story.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I think that's part of the experience too. I think that's part of the fun of the whole show. But
part of the reason we liked Westworld so much is because we came on here and listened to his harebrained schemes every week.
That's
right?
true. It's very true.
Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, remember the flies with cameras?
Oh yeah.
If that ever comes back up and they are cameras, I'm gonna lose my shit.
They could be. There was a lot of flies in this episode. You notice that?
There were.
There's always a lot.
Hess
of
is
flies.
like they're fucking recording everything. But so
I mean, they're. Go ahead.
Okay. After that, Bernard starts having some memory flashes, and it's Bernard yelling in a chair, and then it's Bernard standing up, shaking his head, and then we see back from the last scene him back in the chair again. But how they edited it, it almost looked like it was a Bernard talking to a Bernard, which I found very interesting. And then Bernard watching Ford die, he gets a little memory of that, and then he's walking with Dolores through a town, and she has a black dress on. So it seemed like that was more when they go to like Future World or wherever they're gonna go, like the city.
Are you gonna be disappointed if they don't go to Future World?
No, that's just what I'm calling it because that's what I figure it is now. But then Bernard's in a dirty house. It looks like almost that place where the Man in Black was like when he got put in jail or whatever with that one dude.
Oh yeah.
He's in that area with Peter Abernathy.
Yeah. Who's got like a fucking dress shirt on.
Yeah, and he's doing his little weird twitchy shit that he was doing last season. And then we get a quick shot of a host being made, and then Dolores says that there's beauty in what we are. Then Bernard shooting people in the map room, and then in the same room he's sitting in a chair while people are fighting, and then we hear his voice say, "Is this now?" Which I found that whole thing is just, it's so odd but interesting.
Yeah, it's very scatterbrain.
Definitely is.
You think so? Bernard had to be in the control room when the shit hit the fan.
That's what it looks like.
Or
yeah,
was
if that's because like if
because he wasn't at the party, right?
No, he was. He saw Ford die. So that.
Oh, so then he went.
So, but like, what I mean, what if that's again? What if there's these multiple Bernards going around?
See,
there has to be. I would assume there's multiples of a lot of the higher ups. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah. So this is going with that too. So I don't know if you noticed this in the episode. I saw some screenshots online, and all the flashbacks on Ford. I think it's like this side of his head. He has a scar right here that he had all last season as well. But then
and now
then
gone.
in every scene in the present day, or at least the present when he's on the beach with the Delos members, it's gone. But in the flashbacks this season, it's there.
And a lot of the time, well, there was like half the time he did not have glasses on, and half the time he did have glasses on.
Oh, I didn't even notice the glasses thing.
Yeah, I didn't know about.
And then, so me and him did you catch this in the episode when he's talking to what's the guy's name? Carl, but it's something else too. It's with an S, whatever. The guy in charge of Delos, the army dude.
Seems like he's in charge. Yeah.
When
the Skarsgård guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bald guy, right?
Yeah. When he's there.
It's Skarsgård.
He finished.
That's his real name, right? Oh boy.
That's foul.
That's his real. We don't care about his real name.
Ding dong.
Well, I wrote down his name, so I wanted to see it real quick if I could find.
That's not
whatever.
A big deal.
But when he's talking to him, he finishes that guy's sentence.
Yeah.
Did you catch that in the episode?
I did not catch that.
I didn't either, and then he showed me, and then it's because you know how he's acting really weird in that person, like he's like dazed. Yeah, Bernard's like he's like, it's just like he's not himself. It seems like he's almost lived that moment before, and that's why he's like being weird about it.
Very well could have. While we're on the topic of Bernard, do you think Hale knows that he is a robot?
I don't know. I was wondering about all
that. Because it didn't really seem like she knew.
It didn't.
Well, how would she?
I mean, I don't know. She's pretty fucking high up in Delos.
So
yeah, but that's Anthony Hopkins. I think he's
Yeah.
covered him.
Yeah,
like,
I
Anthony
thi-
Hopkins wasn't.
I wondered if Stubbs was gonna know when he got there, because Stubbs was kind of like, oh, you're gonna shoot the boss, and like kind of like took care of him a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I don't. I think he's Anthony Hopkins' secret.
Yeah,
That's
I do
my
agree with that,
opinion.
but I'm waiting for someone to like say they know or like figure it out or
Which
something.
I think Anthony Hopkins has a lot of secrets.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he
something
does.
that I found interesting goes in the theory I told you about too. Do you remember the plot of Future World?
No, not off the top of the
so
dome.
so there's the
You're
people.
not the only one.
Yeah, there's the people that go to the park, and remember they get cloned, kind of turned into hosts, and then they try to kill the normal people.
Yeah.
I think that's what Delos is gonna do to the
I
host
kind of
here.
hope it's not that simple.
I think they're gonna make it bigger and better, because let's be honest, that movie sucks ass. But
Yeah.
because they're taking people's DNA and shit like that, and
Right.
if you think about it,
And they're recording all their conversations.
Yeah,
Like, I don't
'cause-
understand why they would need all their conversations.
I think they're making Facebook
and
too.
to show that they can do that, Ford did that exact same thing with Arnold. He got a human and turned it into a host, and now there's hosts of that guy everywhere. So it
Right.
shows that they could do it. So I think they're taking people that come to the park and turning them into hosts after a while. And I don't know if they're. I don't think they're necessarily killing the people. I just think, like, let's say you went to Westworld,
yeah.
and then when you left, they're like, well, now we got, his name's not Nick King anymore. It's Jim Bob McGee, and then now that guy's walking around in Westworld or whatever.
What would be the end game to that though?
I think it's so that way, like, because you already have a personality and all that shit. It's so they don't have to make a personality and the thing for every
Well,
single person. They can just be like, all right, that's a host.
The only thing that I can think of, okay, is as to why they would want to do that, okay? Let's just say they take their DNA, they record everything, okay? Then they can program them to go into the real world and kill, like, that person, and then over enough time, everybody's just robots. You can take over the world.
I mean, say
you know what I mean?
they
Like,
could
I
even-
think that's
they could even do that with the employees that work there. Just,
Right.
Like, just take one of their DNAs or you get a free pass to the park, and then you go to the park, and then they replace you in your robot, and then it's an employee you can control.
like in the real world.
Yeah.
It seems short-sighted. I mean, how many people are going to visit Westworld? They already said that most people can't afford it.
Yeah, I don't know.
There seem to be.
I
mean, there's
picture-
always people there. So
I always picture like them. Oh, we got to build an army. That's usually like what you got to do when you have like robots and shit is build armies.
Yeah.
So that's what I picture. But like, I don't know. I think that's so far in the future that it's hard to speculate like why they want the DNA.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think we'll find out.
Well, I think that's definitely going to be part. I think that's going to be how we kind of
it's-
end this season.
I
and
don't
then-
think you swap some fucking. Was it a dick? Was it? I couldn't tell. And
they were swabbing like it looked like that
Yeah.
guy's dick or his taint or something.
With the bush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna see a little dickhead.
Yeah,
there.
we only
Just
got one dick.
mushroom.
So Hess tweeted this and got the idea. I'm going to try to do a dick counter for this season. So far, one.
it's only been one
Yeah.
dick, right?
Only been one
yeah,
dick.
just one. But remember last season there was quite a few dicks.
It's
that we
gonna
saw.
suck if they open up another flood of dicks on me. I'm gonna have to be on. I'm gonna be on the screen, being like 1, 2, 3. Fuck, I lost count. I had to go
it
through.
would be hilarious. And when you put it in, you just gotta boing, boing, boing. You know, just have them pop up.
Yeah, you're gonna be like Ganesh.
You gotta
counting
add a little. Yeah. How funny that last night's episode is about like artificial intelligence.
I think they timed that on
Yeah,
purpose.
I think they did that on
I think they
purpose.
totally did it on
Yeah.
purpose.
We watched it. And I was like, wow, okay, cool.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So one thing I did want to ask you guys, I asked him this earlier, but then we watched the episode. So
You're not supposed to talk about it.
we pre-podcast talked a little bit.
A little bit.
We
We live together. What are you gonna do?
when Angela comes up to Dolores and then she starts talking to
My wife?
no, my mom. No, I'm just kidding. She comes up to Dolores and Dolores is
I
talking,
know both.
she's talking to Teddy and all that. She says, Angela says I found it, and then Dolores is like, okay, I want to show you this. I want to show you the truth. What do you?
Yeah, we don't know.
What do you think she's gonna show him? Do you think she's gonna show him like, see, there's other worlds. This is made up, or do you think she's gonna like, it's a viewed outside? Like, what could it be?
She's probably gonna flash him.
Her tits?
Mm-hmm.
She could have done that without Angela's help, I
No,
think.
I don't know.
I just picture.
It's so hard to speculate on hardly anything because we know nothing.
That's
Yeah.
never stopped you before.
That honestly,
I know.
that should have been the
Just
name of
wait.
this episode.
You
is
have
we
no
know nothing.
idea.
Oh no, I kind of do.
So-
No, you don't.
We've talked a little bit about the
Wait,
episode.
but you didn't let me answer.
Oh yeah, it's true. I forgot about your answer.
I think it's just consciousness.
You think she's gonna be like, now you can?
Yeah.
So,
She's like,
do you think that she is fully awake?
I
think she's fully
honestly think
conscious?
she's still like
no,
because
I think it's all Ford.
Ford's dead, but I think he set all this in motion, and she's just still
But
rolling
is
in the
Ford
game.
dead?
I wondered that. Actually, I'll jump right into that right now. So we see
We're all over
they,
the fucking place.
yeah, I know.
We need to
this gotta be
we need to set a print out like a bullet thing.
See, on the bright side,
Well, we had one, and then when he had Siri read it,
yeah, I do timestamp the episode, so if you guys want to skip around to certain things, you can go ahead.
we'll be like,
But-
we talked about Ford at fucking 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 14 minutes.
But in the
Yeah.
in the beginning, when the guy cuts up, oh my god, that's back.
Yeah.
When the guy cuts
guys do
open
that.
the host's head and then he sees the maze, he's like, what the fuck's that about? And they throw it to the side or whatever.
Yeah.
He says that's not fuck, I forgot the word, but that's not sanitary.
Oh yeah.
So like it kind of
Yeah,
like
what the fuck
like,
is that
I think it
about?
means because the hosts are kind of like humans, they can decay and get infected, like all that shit. So and then also when we see the Bengal tiger show up on the beach, there's flies all over it. It's decaying.
Yeah, there's flies all over the Indian guy too.
Yeah. So then we see Ford, and there's maggots in his head and all this shit. Do you think Ford's dead, or do you think that was a decaying host of Ford? Because as we've seen multiple times,
He brought up a good point that if flies are buzzing around the fucking dead host, there would be maggots on the dead host.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think Anthony Hopkins is dead because
I
I,
think
don't
that
think
was-
he's coming back.
that would be a great twist if he's like, no, I don't want to do season 2, but then like maybe have him in it like, because he's I don't know, have him in it for like a scene at the end, and then set up season 3 where he can be every now and then. Because I don't think he even necessarily needs to be the main character. He'd just be like, yeah, I kind of got away
Just
with
come
it.
back and like snap at
He's
rattlesnakes.
like Tupac. He'll be doing like hologram shows and shit later on.
Oh my god.
But I think they definitely teed it up with the stuff they hinted at, little things that he could possibly be alive.
Well,
And especially because like they showed so many times that people like 'cause he wasn't a host before, but how they can unscrew the brain and take out the host's brain and shit like that.
I thought that was pretty cool, actually.
I think they're teeing up us
Yeah, that was
for,
actually
for
cool.
people to swap bodies.
that'd be weird.
Because there's
I
a
mean, it would be easy. It would just be literally unscrew the fucking baseball-looking thing,
cause there's
screw it on the other one.
there's a theory online that Bernard at the end when he says I killed them all, that's not Bernard, that's Maeve or not Maeve, that's Dolores in his body, which would be
Oh.
fucking nuts.
Now, here's one thing though: you can't unscrew your own fucking head and put it into someone
Well,
else's.
because wasn't Arnold though? His point was trying to put his consciousness into. Remember, like we all like, oh, is
Into
Arnold
others?
alive? What if he uploaded his consciousness into a host?
Well, while we're on the topic of Ford, what about Ford as a
Yeah.
little kid?
That
He's
was
dead.
kind of cool. Did you hear that it was Anthony Hopkins' voice every now and then in the kid?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's-
It was like morphed. It was as a kid and as an adult.
Yeah, that was a cool scene, I thought. And then it's interesting. He tells the Man in Black, where is it in my notes? Something like it ends where you began.
Yeah, it ends where you began. And this is where I'm going to jump in and tell you my first off-the-wall crazy theory.
Okay.
Okay.
Man in Black is a host. He's a robot.
And you think William is like?
Who's William?
He's a robot.
like,
the, man
do
in
you-
the black, the Man in Black is a robot.
But do you think
He is-
do you think there's still a William out in the world somewhere, or do you think
Possibly I do. But this one that we saw,
in the park?
the one who like goes in the house and opens up the treasure chest or trunk and pulls out a brand new hat, I think he's a host.
So
Why?
yeah, I was gonna say, what's it? Well, why?
Okay, first of all, in the final episode of last season, him and Dolores.
Sorry.
Him and
Sorry. There's your title. Man in Black's a host. Let's just get fucking ripped. Go ahead.
That's true. That is a good title.
You go for it.
All right. So in the last episode of last season, it was either episode 9 or 10, Dolores and the Man in Black get into a fight in front of the church, right?
Yeah.
All right. It sure looked like the Man in Black, like Dolores, pretty much looked like it broke his arm.
I think she sprained it because at the party when he's walking in the party at the end, he kind of walks with a little bit of like a ooh, my arm hurts, like ooh.
I thought she could have dislocated the shoulder.
Yeah.
You have goats?
No, fucking. I don't know.
I think Hess is a host. So,
Yeah.
he's like Bernard. He needs to inject that other the host juice
Hey,
inside
check
him.
the side of your head. See if there's liquid coming out.
Yeah, with a little jizz coming out of the
Yeah.
old ear.
Like I said, self-lubricating.
I said
That's
liquid.
not-
You said jizz. You know.
That's what I thought of when I saw it. I was like, wow. Looks like a
But
little...
so go on with your.
So I'm basically going off of that. And we're only, 11 days away from last season? There's no way that would heal.
How do you know it's
It's
11?
2 weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks.
2
Well,
weeks.
It's like 2 weeks.
but do you know that? But we don't know that
That's
he.
14 days.
I'm just speculating, Jerome.
I was gonna say we don't know that he woke up the 2 weeks. He could have woken up like the next morning or something.
Well, and we obviously know it's in this timeline because he says now it's time to have fun.
Yeah.
Like he's excited because it's as real as it's ever been.
Did you guys think anything of it when Bernard was talking to Charlotte Hale and says that maybe Dolores shot Ford on her own accord?
Well, I mean, she's
Like,
they're having the same conversation we're having. Does
Yeah.
she have consciousness?
Yeah.
She's like, she thinks she's fucking nuts.
I don't think she has. I think
I think
Maeve
she has.
has it because
more
she was
con-
put up to it, but I don't think
I don't
Dolores
think
does.
Maeve is fully conscious yet.
Oh, you don't?
I don't. I think Maeve will become fully conscious when she reaches her daughter and realizes that it's not her daughter.
Yeah.
That's when I think she'll achieve full consciousness.
You don't think it was when she didn't get on the fucking train?
No. I don't think she's fully awake.
I don't know.
She still seems too programmed.
She
like,
still
just
bugs
like,
the shit
if
out
you-
of me.
I liked her.
I like her.
I liked
Yeah.
her better this
She
time.
was better this time, but I still guess it's better to work this. I just don't care about her story at the moment. I'm more.
She's kind of gonna be the focal point of this season. I feel like
I
her
think-
and Dolores.
I think
What about Bernard?
Bernard's gonna be the focal
think
point of the
Bernard.
Well,
season.
yeah, Bernard too, but
I think
she's
we're
gonna
seeing
play
the
a
whole
pretty big
season through his
role.
eyes. I mean, yeah, I guess, but
No, she.
I don't think she's
absolutely.
fully conscious yet.
I don't. I mean, she's as conscious as Dolores.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. I really don't. I think she's keeping.
I mean, it's not like
What's his
there's
name?
not a
What's
right.
the guy?
There's not a
What's
right
the guy?
answer.
Yeah.
I know. But what's the guy that she made him undress and show his dick? What's his name?
Sizemore.
Sizemore.
Sizemore. I think she's gonna obviously keep him around because she wants his help, and the same thing with Hector Esteban.
Or as you said in our video we put out yesterday.
Yeah, I saw it. I watched
Hectaban
it.
Escatone.
Yeah, Hectaban Escatone.
We saw him last night. I go, oh, it's Hector Bon.
And
I
I
just
think
lost
that, and I think she's using him just to basically help her try to find her daughter.
I told him this earlier. I think by the end of the season, I think he's gonna sacrifice himself for the hosts, or at least
talking about Sizemore.
Yeah, Sizemore, or at least be on their side and be defending them. Because right now he's like against them. He outed her within 2 seconds. Of
Yeah,
the
like
people there.
hey, maybe some of them are dressed up like humans.
Yeah,
Which they're
Yeah.
all dressed up like humans.
yeah, it's
Right.
true. That's a good point.
For fuck's
He's
sake.
a writer. He should have said something better than
Yeah.
that. But I think they're teeing him up to have like an arc of being like, oh, these guys are nice. They're actually human-like.
Right.
I did like that when she said
Well,
something
and
about
he's
cutting
kind
his.
of dweeby.
Yeah. When she said something
Kinda?
about cutting his
He's
dick
a
off and
fucking
making him eat
douche.
it, did you hear him? He's like, I wrote that line for
I
you.
wrote that line for you. Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
And then she's.
I didn't expect to see his hog.
We figured
I
out
did.
when she was like, get naked and.
I go up.
Jesus.
I go, Jerome. Here's your wiener.
He,
And he's
he
like,
actually said, as the guy was about to pull down his panties, he goes, oh, this is going to be Hess's favorite part.
Yeah, I did. I did indeed.
You're making me blush.
I was gonna screenshot it and then tweet it to you, but I didn't. I was too lazy.
But you didn't want to like be tweeting out dicks.
I was gonna do the same thing, and I was gonna put the little what is that, eggplant emoji on top of his dick and put it on Twitter.
Wow.
That's way too much work.
That is a lot of work for that.
It only takes a couple seconds. Pretty quick.
I'd have to download
So,
an app.
so what did you guys think about that scene with Dolores and she's walking up to those board members or guests, we don't know, and she's hanging them?
I thought it was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah,
I honestly, I think, I don't know. For some reason, I almost don't like, not I don't like her, but I don't like her as much as I did last season.
Well, she's kind of a little cunty, you know.
I didn't expect that.
I mean,
Like, I still...
she's turning into the bad guy.
Yeah.
Kinda. Even though she has every right, if she is conscious, like Hess thinks so. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think she's fully conscious. I never said that. I don't think she's
who do you
fully
think-
conscious.
who do you
think
think is
she's
more-
half conscious?
who's
How do
more
you get
conscious?
I
half?
think I think she is conscious, not 100%.
What percent is Maeve?
I would say Maeve is probably 50 to 60.
See, but what?
I would say
Maeve can control other hosts though, so wouldn't that make her?
Yeah, I thought that was weird too. How she could just turn them on and off.
She did that last season a little bit towards the end.
Yeah.
Remember, because she like whispered in that one guy's ear to shoot at the cops as she ran away as they were looking for her.
See, I feel like Maeve is, if anything, is more conscious.
Yeah, I think
Dolores.
Maeve, in my opinion, I think Maeve is more I think Dolores is programmed by Ford and will always be in Ford's control. And I think Maeve literally had her stats turned up to where she is.
And she's
Other than her body
forgot that
parts, she's human.
She had Sylvester and Felix.
Yeah.
Totally thought you were going to say Tweety Bird.
Which, by the way, where are they?
Oh, we'll see 'em.
We haven't seen them yet. If we're going to see them.
They kill a lot of people in this show, but usually they'll keep like those guys around. So we'll see.
Yeah. You know, one thing that bugged me this episode, that Stubbs is just there.
Yeah. What do you?
You
think
know
about
how
that?
much we speculated about what happened to Stubbs?
You know what I thought about?
What?
I don't have to delete him off Twitter.
Yeah.
Well, actually, he's been kind of funny lately. On
Yeah. Do you guys think that we're gonna see a flashback in him being rescued by Delos?
Well, we better.
Or do you think like they're just not gonna mention it?
I think they'll mention it.
So who? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you think we'll see Elsie, or do you think she's just gone?
I hope it's here. I thought
You mean
she was pretty
Rebecca?
hot.
No, it was Rachel.
Rachel. I thought I saw her.
Yeah, you know those cards. You know they were looking through the. What?
Oh yeah.
The card confused the fuck out. Sometimes I swear he is a host. And he's like
the red cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the blue ones. Of course, the red ones. They're the only cards they showed.
He thought that they showed her on the cards.
I thought
and
they showed
he
her.
rewrote it 15 fucking times for me. It's not her.
Yeah, it's
No.
He wrote it in his notes, and he's like, "I'll tell you this last one, even though I don't want to." And I was like, "Well, I saved you."
I
from
thought it
looking
was
like a
pretty
dumbass.
cool. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought they really did a really good job, like having the Delos Coast Guard or whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Yeah,
like,
those
they came in there ready to fuck shit up. Like,
no, yeah, I really like that too.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
expected it like
didn't work very well when they went in the control room, though.
I was kind of worried
Yeah.
that it was gonna be like generic looking, but no, I thought
So-
it was pretty realistic.
So, do you think this episode kind of confirmed that they did just take because like they had the Chinese government or whoever showing up there?
There was one dude.
But he was like from Do you think this is an example? They like bought China, and then they set Westworld there, and there's like things around. Like, do you think they bought a huge plot of land and that's their whole base, or do you guys think they're still in space?
I never thought they were in space.
That's true. You were the one who guessed. Me and Hess thought they were like on Mars or some shit.
They still could be. Who says
Yeah.
that China
Do you-
can't own Mars?
Do you think that they're in space, or do you think they own like a huge portion of Earth?
No, I think they're somewhere out in the middle of the ocean,
Oh, that would make sense. Build it in the ocean.
on like an island over by Japan or China or something.
That would actually make a lot.
It's got to be like Australia, because it's a big fucking island.
Yeah,
That
would actually make quite a bit of sense.
Huge place.
That never occurred to me, but that makes sense. Just
That's what I think.
Just start building there.
Yeah, I don't even
Well,
know.
because when those whoever the Skarsgård guy, who was that? What was his name? Chuck?
I think it's
It's not Chuck.
It's something. It's Strand. That's what it is. It's Strand.
Carl Strand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Or
when
Chuck.
he shows up,
We call him Chuck.
and they find Bernard and they're walking, you see like it looks like Chinese military, because I had subtitles on and it said like
Yeah, I had subtitles like the second
Yeah.
time.
It's a
Chinese something.
It's a Chinese.
So
Man
yeah.
speaks in Chinese.
yeah, so I'm like, all right, like obviously they're Chinese, or somewhere they speak Chinese.
I
It's
think they were
pretty
Korean.
obvious.
They were
You know?
Koreans speaking Chinese.
No, but I get
So,
what he's saying
yeah.
though. Obviously, they're by China or something like for them to be
Yeah,
one of the first
I picture
responders.
It's on a big fucking island.
I mean, for you two big conspiracy theory guys, that's an easy. I think it kind of doesn't matter where they are, and I
No,
think,
it doesn't matter.
and that
I think it does because part of Dolores' plan is after we take this world, we're going to take their world. So, but if they're just in the water, what is she gonna fucking swim to like Beijing? Like, what's gonna
she
go
can
on?
fucking steal a boat.
I guess,
Yeah.
but I think that does matter a little bit. Like, what if they are in space and she's like, Oh fuck, they got a whole world, but now
If
I'm
you
just
get,
floating
like,
around.
What's it called when someone like fucking breaks into your house when you're home?
A home invasion?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
No, it wouldn't.
Can you
keep
imagine?
looking back
We're like,
there,
oh
I
my god, Hester, there's a man behind you, and he's like, what? And then all of a sudden,
He
Well, I
wouldn't
can see
fat
over
ninja,
here, you know.
fat ninja down.
No, I kind of think the people that make the show don't think it matter, and that's why they threw that guy talking to him in Chinese.
Yeah, just like
But just because he's talking to someone in Chinese, that doesn't mean that like that's where it's at. You know what I mean? Like it could be anywhere.
No, yeah, I get that, but they were like kind of the first responders. Like they show up the same time as it seems Delos
right
did.
when they gave him, and he gave him a bunch of money. He's like, "Here's a bunch of money. Sign the NDA,
Yeah,
and get the fuck out of my face."
get
He
the
said
fuck off my
we
island.
already gave you money and bought the place, is what he
Yeah,
said.
Yeah.
so get the
Yeah.
fuck off my island.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you know,
but it still doesn't say where the island is. Is
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
no, yeah, for sure. Well, and we also found out that there's 6 parks, at least 6 parks.
I think for how big the place looks, I think there's got to be more. But yeah, we did find that out. We did a Twitter poll last night of
Oh,
if
yeah.
people believe that it really was Bernard that killed all the people, and 54% of people on Twitter thought that he did. 39% said no, he did not, and 7% said that they're gonna play out their own theory. And 2 people replied. And one of them was Dr. Ford. Official Dr. Ford said, I did it with a winky face.
Wow.
That's pretty interesting. And then Leo at
That was not me.
ISO 6.
If you guys think that.
Oh, I did think that.
He did think that, but I don't believe
I
him.
shit you not on everything.
The reason I thought it is because when I clicked on the profile, it's like, oh, if you like this, you should follow him. Is it me? It's Mike.
On everything.
But
What's your uncle's name?
Michael Mays.
Yeah,
But-
it said
but
I
I-
should follow him if I like.
but I told
Real-
him that's just that
Wow.
that's just the suggested followers. Though. I don't think
Yeah,
that
I
has
know.
nothing to do with the account. But someone else replied, and I don't know what this means. Maybe Hess will.
That's the biggest conspiracy last night, actually.
Some guy said his reply to who killed all the hosts is screwed with the mesh network.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what that means?
No.
Me either. If you know, comment down below. But some guy replied that. But so, what did you guys vote on the poll? I
You should-
voted yes.
When this comes out, you should copy and paste it and reply to him and say, fast forward to the 18-minute and 36-second mark
Oh my God, that's
and answer our
It's actually
fucking
32
question.
minutes.
I don't know if that. I'm just.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how long we've been talking.
I could
But-
reply to him and tell him, hey, check out the podcast. Maybe you can answer
Yeah,
some
check out.
questions for
But
us.
that's what I mean. Throw the link in there. All right, and then he'll be like, "Wow, these people are fucking idiots. They can go
Probably.
fucking suck a fucking goat's dick," and he'll call us a faggot.
All right, and yeah, so what did you guys vote for?
I said.
I know
no.
you voted no. What did you vote for, Hess?
I voted no,
I voted yes, but I think I've changed
just
my
to
mind.
be different.
No, I voted yes because at the time I thought, oh, fuck, Bernard killed them all. He's a... And then I was like, no,
Just
he
no.
didn't.
I mean,
I don't-
I just don't see it. I really don't.
My
He
only...
looked so goddamn confused. He had no idea what the fuck was going on.
Well, because also
and
he's having...
I think there were multiple Bernards in this episode.
Yeah, but why do you think that?
I
He
see...
had no idea what the fuck was going on. He had no idea. We're supposed to expect that he was laying on that beach for 2 weeks.
One thing that's interesting
No.
that I read on Reddit was... No, it wasn't that burp. It was that why does Bernard... Because he... You know,
I haven't had a hiccup yet.
I know, I was just thinking that.
he has his whole adventure with Charlotte Hale that we see this episode, and it's gonna
She's
go.
fucking
it's-
hot.
It's gonna go on more, and but why does he wash up on the beach with a champagne glass in his hand, or like at
He
least
was at
by
the
him?
party.
Yeah, but he didn't
That-
wash
that-
up.
that-
That's 2 weeks later. He's
2
doing
weeks
That's
other
what I
shit.
mean. That's what I mean. Like we're supposed to believe that he was just laying on the beach for fucking 2 weeks.
The only difference is if that's the real Bernard that was at the party, that one doesn't have the scar on the side of his head, and the other one in these flashbacks do. So we get into a whole world of which Bernard. The only thing is, remember, last season there were 2 Bernards. There was Bernarnold.
Yeah, that's why I think they would stay away from it.
Oh, I think they would double down and be like, you thought that was crazy when we had 2 Arnolds? Check out when we have like 6 Arnolds. We put Arnolds or Bernards. We put Bernards on your Bernards on your Bernards.
I just don't. I mean, I'm happy to say I don't honestly know.
So you think they're gonna go to that room of Bernards and nothing's gonna come of that? That's just a tease for us to like theorize
I'm
on.
fucking with you.
They probably are fucking with me. It's pretty easy to fuck with me.
It is easy to fuck with you.
You said it.
Because the weirdest thing is in the beginning when Arnold is talking to Dolores and he describes what Bernard's going through,
Uh-huh.
and then Bernard is doing what he just said,
Then
they flash back 2 weeks, and then he's with her. So it's hard. I mean, there's nothing nothing that they showed us, because there's 3 timelines there that shows there's multiple Bernards. So until I see Bernard talking,
this his scar missing. What do you guys say about that?
I don't know.
I think
bad CGI.
There's no way they didn't do that on purpose. Have his scar missing in different scenes.
Maybe.
And it's the specific, like every flashback scene they did his makeup right.
It,
But every flashback they did the makeup right, but every present day one they didn't. Like that can't be an accident.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So that has to be something.
Maybe he got bit by a mosquito.
And what is that?
flashback.
Heel is
And it
no, but
healed
he
in 2
had that.
weeks.
He had that all last season.
It was a big mosquito.
But I think they had.
Maybe when he injected himself with fucking host cum, it got rid of it.
Gross.
my notes keep blowing.
I was gonna say it was. See, you wrote down all those notes. Is there anything
Yeah.
specific you want to bring up from your notes?
Let's hear your notes.
Oh, God.
It's note
damn.
time with Hess.
Interesting. Did you guys saw that the opening scene was different?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
intro of the
Like the
show.
intro, the credits.
Yeah,
the intro
there's like a
credits?
buffalo instead of a horse. There's
I-
a mother with a little baby, and then the Westworld dude goes into water instead of the milk, as Hess called it last
I
year.
do want to say we started talking about Men in Black being a host, and then God knows where we went after that.
Yeah,
I do think you're full of shit on that one. I just want to make that clear.
that's fine.
I'm not gonna say he's full shit. I'm intrigued. Because last year we said, "Oh, Hess, you're fucking stupid.
No, but that's-
you suck dick." And then next thing you know, Bernard's a host. So I'm
But
not.
that's what I'm trying to get at. So the reason you think he's a host is because he broke his arm, and now it's fixed.
And then the whole hat thing. Like you just have a brand new hat chilling in the fucking thing at all
Do you
times.
remember season 1 when
he
they gave him
owned-
like 1,000 hats?
He owns the park.
I don't remember that.
He owns the park. Remember?
Okay.
Remember when Stubbs
And like,
Stubbs pulled up his iPad and said, "Oh, that host, he gets whatever he wants." So he gets
you're right.
he gets a house with he has
No, and I'm just saying because you did say Bernard was a host last year,
right.
but you
Yeah,
never gave us why, except for that little cuddle thing, and then we rewatched it, and he fucking cuddled with her. So you had no reason.
I don't know.
But you also said Stubbs was a host last year.
Are you just was it just like a hunch?
Well, we
you got?
don't know. We don't know if he is or not.
He still could be, yeah.
Right. Everybody in the show could be a host.
I
But
guess,
if we say,
yeah.
but we need reasons why they're a host. That's what I'm saying.
I guess it would be kind of weird. For
I
him to
actually
be
have a
host.
reason Stubbs could be a host.
Why?
That's why he's still alive.
That's why I say,
that's why the Indians ignored him after they grabbed him.
But I don't believe that.
Oh, but so do you have anything else besides his hat and all that, or was it just like a hunch you got? when you watched
that
it?
was it. That was all. I do think there is a real Man in Black, real William.
Are we
in
gonna
the
get
park,
like a William versus Man in
But I
Black
do
showdown?
think there is a clone of him out there.
If this ends up being fucking Westworld Noah's Ark, I'm fucking losing my mind. I don't need fucking two of everybody.
Oh Jesus!
Because
That'd
that
be
just
great.
gets retarded.
No, I
You
think
can't have 2 Doloreses running around killing 2 fucking Williams and then
That'd be
2
great.
fucking Jesus Christ.
So basically, I had. I thought they were copying the DNA to clone them and send them to the real world and to try to get enough people out there or clones out there to take over the world.
I
We
think
touched on that.
I also think that's crazy, but go ahead.
that'd be a good title.
Why would you think that's crazy?
We gotta save these titles.
Well, how many people are there in the world?
8 billion, I think.
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, how many of these do you need?
7.
To replace
I mean?
everybody in the world?
Not to replace everyone in the world. I mean, you're
He's saying-
talking
he's
about
saying to kill
only
certain
rich,
people.
Yeah, you're only talking about rich people who can come to this park. So you're talking like, I don't know, the top 3 to 5%, right?
Yeah, they'd
So
be like
usually
replacing Mark
rich people
Zuckerberg and shit like that. I
pull-
couldn't say his name.
You know what I mean? Like so,
no, I actually thought originally you wanted to replace like 20% of the population with robots, and I just didn't know how that was
No, I'm
helping.
just
That's
saying,
how
like-
you came across to me, though. That's
right, and I guess that's my fault for explaining it that way, but that's what I mean. Like only like high ballers are gonna go to this place.
I guess I see your point
It's
there.
not like
and then
Disney
they,
World where they churn through 25 million people a year. Or
and then
whatever. I don't know the numbers.
they can kind of control the real world that way if Delos.
Sure,
It's
because
almost
Delos
like it's
seems
almost
like
like
they're like they have bad intentions for like using the park wise, so they
Yeah.
want to take over. I can kind
it's
of
almost like a grand Illuminati scheme with hosts.
except for one problem.
what?
They don't have the IP.
Well, that's why they need Peter Abernathy, boy.
But so they haven't done it yet.
Yeah,
That's
Right.
that's their grand scheme.
And I think that might be their ultimate goal as to why they're taking the DNA and recording everything to create these people, send them back out in the world. They keep the real host. Either they kill them or just don't let them leave, or I don't know. And then they just send the clone back out, and people don't know. People aren't gonna know.
that is
Well, that's
kind
a
of what they
fucking
did with
robot.
Future World. Except Future World, I think they're for the park, but I can't fully remember
Future
that.
World, one of
So-
the worst movies ever made.
Yeah, Hess almost fell asleep
So-
watching that with us.
So did
Yeah.
I.
To go back real quick. All right. So when Hale and Bernard, she finds the rock, the manual override or whatever to go underneath.
Yeah.
Bernard has no idea where the fuck they're at. He's clearly never seen this.
When we first saw that, I thought that was Ford's little elevator.
It was similar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah,
but then
it was
she's
similar.
got her own.
But then she's asking for help. But they're not. They're saying they won't. Excuse me. They're saying they won't send help until the package is delivered.
Yeah.
What do you think, or who do you think the package is?
They said
and
it's
or
it's
was?
Peter
It's-
Abernathy.
It's Peter.
Is it
Abernathy.
Abernathy? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Because Bernard, I can see how you didn't. Because Bernard, like 5-10 minutes later, says, "Well, who do they need?" And she was Peter Abernathy, and that's when he does his whole little
Okay.
fit and does
I
that.
completely missed that. Then.
I did see something where when he pulls up, because I almost part of me was at first was like, well, maybe he really is human, and they just fucked with this last year. Which sounds like something you would say, but but then when he pulls himself up on that little fucking Delos fucking iPad, I mean it
Yeah.
shows him as a host.
Yeah,
Right.
But then he says how the hosts can contact each other like without
ants?
talking. Yeah, they're like ants basically. I read something that, or I heard something that, like he in that little moment he sent all the hosts to this one area, not knowing it was flooded, and that's why he killed them all.
Right.
That would be interesting.
yeah,
And so that was him being guilty, like I fucking killed all of them trying to help them.
yeah.
Well, and since you touched on that, the ocean or whatever, the
Yeah.
sea or whatever, I think eventually that's going to connect all of the parks together.
You think that ocean's going to
Yeah, I think it's going to
Make-
eventually.
make it almost like
That's
an
how
Earth?
it's all going to connect, and that's how total chaos is going to consume.
Like the fucking tigers be riding boats over to fucking Westworld.
Well, that's what I think that symbolizes. That it's another park, and it's kind of like off of its hostism or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Oh, like the
Like it's
water
got-
itself is a park?
No, the tiger, the Bengal tiger that showed up.
Yeah. Oh, you think it
Yeah,
washed
I
up
think-
from that water?
I think that he is
Oh, yeah.
from another world.
Yeah, they say
Yeah.
they
And
say
then
he's from
he's, like,
from Park
lost,
he's from
and he's
Park
like-
6.
Yeah,
I
and
thought-
he's like, you know what I mean? So I think chaos is going on over there in all the other parks as well, and we just don't know it yet. Obviously,
I
we
think
haven't
that's
seen
where
it.
Dolores is going.
Yeah, I think when Dolores got into the other parks, it opened up for all of them to be able to come out.
Right.
Don't you think that water is where Ford was building that canyon last year?
Probably.
See,
I never thought of that, and then when you said
Origin-
it, that made sense.
Originally, I thought, oh, then he flooded the town because he when he got to town, he goes, no, we'll stop here.
Yeah,
But now I don't know why the fuck. And then Teddy was in the lake or water. Or the
yeah.
ocean.
Teddy's
Yeah.
dead in the ocean. But
It looked like Teddy.
It's weird because it's the first time we saw Teddy die.
No, we saw him.
That was a joke.
That-
Like we saw him die. Like he died like fucking 96
that was
times.
funny.
in
That took him
two
like a full-on
episodes.
minute.
Yeah.
So I was like,
all right, what else?
what?
What else you got?
Yeah, what else you got in your notes?
Let's see here. So I don't know. This might be a little stretch here, but
Oh boy! If he says it's a stretch,
Ford has a plan and has become he's become music, right? Because like that's where they go. In the scene, in the sense that he's programmed.
Wait, hold on.
What do you mean that's where they'd go?
Well, that's where they go when they cut to the bar or whatever. The piano's playing.
Oh, so you think Ford's the piano now?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait.
I think he is in the piano.
I thought he was a host.
Wait, hold on.
Jesus Christ, you're killing me.
Hold on, but why would he become a piano?
No, I get you. You're trying to say he's like in the music and like controlling.
Right, like that, like he's.
You know, the music's not really there.
Because,
That's just for.
Well, but if you think about it, this was the very first time we didn't hear like a cover song playing from the piano. We actually heard like a 1920s or 30s jig or gig, whatever the fuck you want to call that.
Let's call it a jig.
You know, like, because any
That
other
was
time we hear the
horrible.
piano, well, anyways.
You're talking about
Jerome-
when Dolores was on the killing spree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's from
Like,
the
we always-
Sting.
Oh.
We always hear a cover. We always hear a
That's
cover.
true,
song.
we do.
I listened to a podcast this morning, and they were like, yeah, I think they just did it with it because it was a little cheesy. That was the
The
one.
cover was?
That was the one complaint they had about last season was the cover
covers?
music. Yeah.
Oh, so
Really?
I've always heard that people liked that. I mean, I liked it too.
I like it.
I didn't really care one way.
I always
or the
thought it
other.
was
I just
interesting.
thought that I liked the Rolling Stone ones the first time, but then I didn't care about the rest of them.
I always thought
It's
that
not
was
like they were
interesting.
doing fucking Ice Cube or something. Public
Oh,
Enemy.
that'd be awesome. They're like, fuck the police, but like a piano version. That'd be awesome.
Fuck the Men in Black.
Hess, did you watch it in the coming weeks?
I did not.
I figured you wouldn't. He never
Seriously?
does. He never
I
does.
usually don't.
Yeah,
I usually don't.
Then why do you know there's more Bernards?
So then get.
Jerome sent me a picture.
I sent him that picture.
Yeah, but you said you already knew
And
when
he,
you said that.
he said, "I'm pretty." I thought that was confirmed last night? Question mark.
So you just really think that like
He thought last night while watching there's multiple Bernards.
No, I really did think there was multiple Bernards last night.
That never.
And
occurred to
Jerome,
me last
you
night.
said, "Are you kidding?"
While watching it last night, I didn't think that, and then afterwards, after thinking of the show, I thought that.
I still don't
Oh.
think it. I'm not believing that until I see Bernard talking to himself again. Hey Bernard, and hey, how are you doing?
So
Then I believe it.
With Bernard, why do you think he was so like
I can't wait.
distraught about killing all of those people?
I think it's because he just now remembered what he did, and I don't know if we'll see that next week or when we'll see that, but I think because he saw that and he remembered what he did, I think he's like, oh, I killed them.
I think it's because he's the
But-
closest fucking thing to being human, and he fucking.
So he's like, he's
I
like
think he was
developing
guilty.
Feelings, sympathy.
I think he was guilty.
But yeah, I
There you go.
has his hiccup
There's
of the
your
day.
hiccup.
I was little.
I didn't say it was big. I just said that was the hiccup.
It's usually a monster, you know.
Okay, so I got something that I did write down and told you, but we haven't brought it up yet, and this is minor, and I don't even know if it means anything.
Okay.
So, Bernard wakes up. He's walking down the sand with the fuck doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, and they shoot one of the hosts, and then that other host from GTA 5, jumps in front and goes, "Don't shoot an unarmed lady over my dead body," and then they shoot him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the flashback, he's shooting a fucking unarmed lady.
Yeah, he's shooting an unarmed lady.
Yeah.
Which is
well,
interesting.
she has like the glass of water in her head.
Yeah.
on her head, right.
Yes.
It's that
Yeah.
same fucker. Now, so
Yeah.
you had the subtitles on?
Yeah.
So it says man screams when he jumps in front of him, and then when they're in the barn, it says new Walter.
Huh.
I don't
Yeah.
know what the fuck that means,
That-
but it's
that-
something.
That's interesting. to
Isn't
me.
that weird?
It's weird that
It is pretty
they would
weird.
put that in the past and not
They coulda
when
had-
he defended that lady.
They could have had anyone defend that chick.
and they had him do it.
So,
Right.
like, what if Dolores is altering the host, and that's what the truth is?
It could be. That's actually a good point.
That
Could
just-
be.
Well,
That just kinda
we
came
could
to
we could see if next episode if Teddy acts different, then we'll kind of know that. Because she's oh come with me, my child. I will show you the truth. That I kind of like that. That'd be cool. Because Maeve's kind of doing the same thing, and then maybe we'll actually get what Hess thought of last year with the Maeve army versus the Dolores army. Remember that?
oh yeah.
Sure.
That was your theory last
You
year.
remember that?
Like episode
Yeah.
7 or 8, you're like, there's gonna be an army, and I was like, oh, I fucking hope so. And then there wasn't.
It would have been pretty cool.
It seems like there could possibly be that now.
It seems like they're doing the same thing though.
Yeah, but I feel
Except
like
she's running
Maeve
without her.
Maeve doesn't want to hurt the hosts though.
She doesn't mind hurting people.
Yeah, but Dolores is like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool.
She was like Fat Ninja in Call of Duty 4 with that P90, right?
Oh yeah.
Sitting on
Yeah,
the
that-
fucking
that
toilet, not
reminds me-
moving, waiting
Oh,
for a
yeah.
fucking
Any-
5-kill streak.
Anybody who's been entertained by this podcast, you can check out our Facebook channel we got now. I've been putting up videos on there, little short 1-minute clips.
Yeah,
of
I like 'em. I
Random
like 'em.
shit from us.
Did you physically like it, or you just?
No, he
that?
physically likes it. I got
Oh.
the notification.
I didn't.
I got
see
the
it.
little
I got nothing to
ding.
do with it.
Joshua Hess liked your Facebook video.
What else fucking should we?
We can talk about the next on the Hess didn't see.
I'm gonna pull it up right here.
All right.
I'm in front of a TV.
Who
wh-
fucking
you-
makes 14 pages of notes and then fucking doesn't watch the next on?
Or who does a
Well,
podcast on a show and doesn't watch the next on?
That's what I was doing. Sorry, Abby texted me. It's
Oh, okay. But so in the next on, we get to see William again. We see him at least 2 or 3 times in the trailer, I think.
He was talking to naked Dolores at one point.
Yeah, and he's like, there's one question that no one ever asks the host. You want to see what it is or whatever? And then we also get to see, I think his name is John Delos. We see he's Logan's dad.
Yeah.
So we know Logan is Logan Delos. I don't know if we knew that last season. Like, for sure.
I think we thought.
We thought, but we weren't sure.
Yeah.
But so Logan's back too. We see Logan, which I'm pretty excited to see what he's going to be like. Because he should be pretty pissed at William. But what's interesting is William's still working with his dad.
Yeah.
And gets pretty far in this company, we learn.
Well, until
So-
they make him a host.
Well, according to Hess, yeah, maybe. But that'll be real interesting to see, I feel like where that's going to go. I'm excited William's in it because I was scared by the end of last season that William wasn't going to be in it this season, and that's what I liked the most about last season was William's story. And
Well, I just like him.
well,
so-
yeah, it helps because I really like that actor.
Yeah. I don't like it when they show the next on and they're like, in the next coming weeks, because then they
Yeah.
fucking show you shit that you probably shouldn't even see, although we won't understand it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, like that,
dude.
dude.
Nick. All right, just to take you back here. Doesn't that look like Elsie?
That's what he pointed out to us.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I think it's Elsie. It
Oh
looks like
my
Elsie.
God.
It doesn't really look like her, though.
It does really look like her.
No, it doesn't.
Not really.
To me, it doesn't. He paused at that same thing, and I was like, "That's."
I mean,
not
I
her.
did write it down on my phone. Oh, fuck, they have a card to Elsie, so she's still... The fuck are we looking at?
Says his water bottle.
It was I have him propped up on candles.
Oh my
Great
God.
podcasting over here. You know? Hold on one second. Keep talking.
All right. What were we talking about? Logan and all that?
Yeah, I think so. Fuck, I don't remember.
I don't either.
What else? I mean, is there anything that we haven't covered?
We didn't talk much about Maeve, but there wasn't really much to talk about her. I feel like
I'm going to the end right here to watch the.
we're gonna get live reaction, folks. Fat Ninja watching the
Yeah.
the Westworld.
God
in the
forbid you
coming
did
weeks.
this yesterday.
I'll start watching them. Dude, it was an hour and 15 minutes. I was like long. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I was fucking
Hour and 15
hungry,
minutes of our favorite show.
ready to fucking eat.
I watched fucking episode 10 before that.
Yeah.
That's an hour and a half.
And 7 and 8.
Wow.
Nah.
Holy
Oh,
shit,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did that morning.
All right, I'm almost there.
All right, you're gonna.
I'm waiting. I can't.
When you get there, you're gonna do a live reaction to make this entertaining. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Make your annoyed face.
That's funny. That's the same face we make when he talks.
Are you gonna like put it on the screen?
I'm gonna have to. If Hess is doing a live reaction to it. Oh, he's gonna put it on the screen for us. All right, Hess, do a live reaction to it. Oh, we get to
Oh
the
my god.
great podcast.
I didn't know Scott Keys was in this. Yeah.
Sorry, folks. This is taking 7 years.
You know you got a fast forward button.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Just talk.
About what? We discussed the whole
Oh,
episode.
okay. It's like we're here.
Yeah, just hit play.
Bad robot. Can you turn it up a little?
All right, so this is Hess's live reaction to Westworld in the coming weeks.
Did you even know what you were really guarding here? The real purpose of this place?
There's Logan.
You don't know, do you?
Intense music continues.
See, to me, they're in Future World right there.
What the fuck is that schmuck?
That's John Delos, Logan's dad.
There is an answer here to
Or
our
William's
military
father-in-law.
Yeah.
There's Naked Dolores.
If that guy's daughter kills himself, I swear to God.
Did she have like a dildo or something? Why was it vibrating?
It's just a speck of dust.
Those fucking Indians are creepy as fuck,
In a
dude.
much, much bigger world.
There's Shogun World. So I think they show Shogun
Oh,
World
dude.
and Future World there. I swear they're. I'm calling it right now. I'll be wrong live on the podcast
Looks
if they're not in
really
Future.
good.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Do you think that's Future World that they're in, Hess?
It could be like Hong Kong World too,
I mean, yeah.
or
But
like New York World.
That
or
could even be part of Shogun World.
could
I
be
just-
Milwaukee World.
I doubt no one wants to go to Milwaukee World.
What about the Bucks?
They don't even want to go there.
Probably not.
I don't know.
But yeah, so any last things you guys want to say for our first Westworld podcast of the new season?
I think it went pretty good till the end there. We kind of lost it.
We did loot, but I can cut that out. No one else will even know that
I was
happened.
just saying you can cut it out and make it look official.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if you want to put that in there or not, but
I might. Well, I'll see in the cut.
In the cut.
But
in the cut.
any last crazy
Listen.
things you guys want to throw out to the?
So, if he's a host, and your reason is that he broke his arm,
I swear, if he becomes a host,
And he healed really fast. All I'm saying is I think there are at least two versions
Okay,
of him.
but tell
There
me
is
this:
a real Man in Black and there is a host Man in Black.
have we
to maybe
ever
throw
seen
the host off?
Have we ever seen a host heal itself?
but the host.
What?
Have you ever seen a host heal itself before?
Yeah, they have to go back to the
No,
thing.
they pull him in, but they
Bro,
don't
who
have
would
to
have
show
pulled
us
in
that.
the Man in Black if he's fucking laying on the floor in the middle of the massacre?
That happened before. That the fight with Dolores happened before the party, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's at the party. He's got an arm. He shakes it like he does a little Jimmy with it when he's at the party because his arm hurts.
Wait, what?
When he's
Or
walking,
maybe he was dancing.
when he's walking into the party, his arm's all stiff because that was hours after his fight with Dolores.
Mm.
And then Dolores shoots forward, and then he falls over and gets all his bodies on top of him. And
I
he
think
wakes
we
up
need a
this episode.
doctor to see if it was dislocated or broken.
I think we
I
probably-
think it was just dislocated, and he's just like back in place. And
Yeah,
then
once
he
it goes
into
back
play.
in, you're good to go.
I
Right, exactly.
but like the thing is, no one would have been able to bring him in.
To fix him.
Yeah.
I guess.
I think it was Tweety Bird.
Tweet tweet.
And I obviously, I mean, we all know how crazy I am, so this is nothing new.
Yeah, you got that right.
Absolutely.
All right, well,
So,
thanks for watching Random Ramblings and or listening to Random Ramblings this week, guys. We'll be back next Monday for another well, I guess we record this Monday. This comes out Tuesday. For another episode of Westworld Season 2, Episode 2. See you guys then.